Hi, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello, hi, please be sure to subscribe if you like my content. Okay, so this video today was suggested by one of you guys and I would love to talk about it. So we start by defining, right? Self-esteem, from the words esteem, literally mean the estimate you have of yourself. So this can be defined by your achievements, the friend you choose to surround yourself with, your skills, your job, all these things, yeah? They can define your self-esteem more because it's an estimate. But what it really boils down to is self-worth. Self-worth is a value you think you have. How much do you really value yourself? What do you think you're worth? I promise you, every single decision you make boils down to the unfiltered self-worth you have. How much do you think you deserve? What do you think your value is? It all boils down to that. The decisions you make about your life, the people you choose to surround yourself with, this right here is the core of everything we are. So to be able to understand exactly where your self-worth is, I need you to get in a reflective mode and really ask yourself these questions. These are not questions you may be able to get a clear answer when you're looking at me. You may need to write them down and, when you're going to bed at night, ask yourself these questions over and over again so you can understand how much do you really value yourself. The first question you're going to ask yourself is, do I have a negative self-talk? Do you have a negative self-talk? How do you talk to yourself? Are you always saying things like, I never do anything right? Why do I ever even bother? Why do I bother trying? Nobody likes me. If you're always talking to yourself like this, there's a problem. The reason why we as human beings thrive off negative self-talk in as much as it is really, really poisonous is because it's sort of like you cannot handle your ego being broken by someone. You can't handle somebody else coming to tell you something negative about yourself. So what you do is you break your own heart before someone else breaks it. Literally, that's what you be doing. I never do things right. It's because you're scared that somebody somewhere may come and tell you, oh yeah, you never do things right, and confirm that fear to you. So you confirm it to yourself first in order to protect yourself. How crazy is that? Do you have a negative self-talk? Are you critical about yourself? Do you always spiral into this self-blame every time you make a mistake or do something wrong? Making a mistake is human, right? But if you're always criticizing yourself every moment, you're always thinking of the wrong things you're not doing, you don't even think of your accomplishments, that messes with you. That's the negative self-talk we're talking about. You end up saying, this is all my fault. I do everything wrong. What is wrong with me? That is you spiraling into a self-blame that is really unnecessary because you realize majority of the things in this world we cannot even control. They're not in our control, right? And so if you fail or you make a mistake somewhere, it's okay, it's normal, it's human, especially because we had very critical parents growing up. Speaking from a personal experience, my dad is one of the most critical people I know. You cannot make a mistake. What do you mean? Even as kids, we were punished so harshly for making a mistake, and so it's sort of like you become that voice in your own head criticizing yourself. Do you joke about yourself in a negative way? Are you always posting memes and jokes about yourself that are very, very negative? This may be a result of maybe being made fun of when you were younger and you sort of internalize that self-hate. Do you think others are better than you? This one I had to answer to myself with a lot of clarity, because when I started reflecting on these questions that I'm giving you right now, I realized that a lot of my life, it's almost like I had believed that I wasn't worth wealth, and I thought they deserve it because they are rich. They are the ones who have the money. Us, we never have money, because I came from a poor background, obviously. And when you live in a poor background for the better part of your childhood, it almost feels like it becomes your identity to be poor. So I had to ask myself this question, and that's why I'm telling you, you need to get in a self-reflective mode. I promise that's the only way you're gonna answer these questions with the much needed clarity. Do you think you deserve less? And to answer such a question, you don't even need to go far, by the way. Just look at your relationships. Who are you in relationships with? Are you allowing someone to take advantage of you, to disrespect you? What kind of friendships are you surrounded with? And I need you to do this exercise while being very honest with yourself, because sometimes the honest truth is bitter, and you ask yourself, what exactly do I think I'm worth for me to be attracting such relationships? If you're always complaining about friendships around you and the way people are fake snakes around you, is it really them that have the problem? If you've had like 10 friends and they are all the same, what is the worth that you hold of yourself for you to be able to find yourself in such a situation? You get me? And you need to be honest with yourself. Do I even like myself to begin with? The last question I need you to ask yourself is, do you accept compliments? Hey, it's not normal to not accept compliments. That means you don't even want to see your own wins. It means there's a lack of self-worth there. Once you've asked yourself these 7 questions, you have a clear picture of how much you value yourself. And then you can start to do the inner work now. To be able to get rid of this internalized self-hate, because that's what it becomes, internalized self-hate, you need to identify some of the limiting beliefs you have with yourself, to yourself. It is so crazy, and I'm telling you, you're looking at me right now and you're thinking, yeah, I think I'm good. Baby, take a diary and a pen and start writing down those things you believe about yourself negatively. Oh my God. You'll be surprised. Between the ages of 0 to 7, your mind is in a mode called theta. Theta mode is the mode of imagination. And that's why a small child will ride a broomstick, and think that they're riding a horse and they're going to have a time of their lives, because your imagination is most powerful at that age. But you see, what that does is it puts you in sort of a hypnosis. And that's why during that age, your mind is just downloading stuff. Your mind is just downloading everything around you, all the energy. The environment you are in around that age is very, very important. And that's how you start to internalize all these negative things about yourself. If you are raised by parents who had a low self-worth themselves, they must have been critical of you. My father is very critical. And so everything I used to do in my life, even like from the age of 0 to 7 and even growing up, was based on my accomplishments. That report form is what would dictate what kind of holiday I'm gonna have. If I passed, it's gonna be a good holiday. But if you failed, it's gonna be terrible. And so it's sort of like I internalize that my worth is based on my accomplishments. And because of that, I became very self-critical. So I would find myself always talking shit at myself because I did not achieve something right, or I did not do anything, the way it was supposed to be done, or I made a mistake, or, I was human maybe, or something happened. Being brought up by somebody who barely even saw my achievements, who was always nitpicking at every negative thing to come at me with, I sort of became that voice in my own head. You get what I mean? And I'm sure very many of you are struggling with this. How many times do your parents even take the time to acknowledge something you have done for the inspiration maybe? Literally think about it. Very rarely. Most of the times it's about something negative, But what that does to you as a child is you internalize that self-critique and you become that for yourself. But how I was able to deal with that is by realizing that my worth is unconditional. I'm gonna say that again. My worth is unconditional. There's this specific experiment which you see lecture professors do and lecturers do, and they show students that I'm holding $1 here on my hand, yeah, and if I step on it, it still remains $1. If I spit on it, it still remains $1. If I put it in the dustbin, it still remains $1. The value of that dollar doesn't change. The same way, your worth is unconditional. It's not based on your achievements. It's not based on the friendships you make. It's you, who you are generally. You're worth it, regardless whether you're in the dustbin or whether you just signed a $20 million deal yesterday. Both of those people, you are worth it. I'm worth everything, regardless of where I'm at. I am worth it because of who I am, not because of where I am. I want you to go back to a point in your life where you blamed yourself for something that wasn't your fault. You realize people around you who made you feel like shit are just projecting. I think maturity for me was how, when I started looking at my dad as a human being who is going through his own kind of shit, who has endured years of emotional abuse as a child, somebody who is still trying to heal so many trauma from where he came from and from the people who even raised him. Just looking at him as a human being has helped me realize it's not me. I'm not the problem. Somebody's just projecting what they feel on me. And let me tell you why this is very, very, very serious. You only meet people where you meet yourself. Get it again. You only meet people where you meet yourself. So if you're self-critical, if you're harsh, if you have this negative self-talk that is poison eating you from within, that's what you're gonna project on people that are around you. And you end up bleeding on those who did not hurt you. If your parent is someone who maybe emotionally abused you, if your parent is manipulative, if your parent is narcissistic, it's not your fault. They may have called you all these names, they may have been insulting you the whole time. If you're living in a home where there is violence and maybe you're being physically abused, this has nothing to do with you. It's just them projecting their own rubbish on you. And that's what you need to understand, really. Because you realize most people out here are fucked up. But what? You can only meet people where you meet yourself. So if you meet yourself at a point of hate, if you meet yourself at a point of spite, that's all you're gonna be showing to the world. So I need you to identify these limiting beliefs about yourself and really do that exercise. It was a whole one for me, and still a journey, you know. Identify those limiting beliefs and challenge them. Are they even true? Someone told you you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. This person kept repeating you're dumb in your ear, and so subconsciously you internalized that. And now you think you're really dumb. But is it true? Is it? You know, everything you have written there, I want you to actually put a question mark and question, is this true? Because at the end of the day, you just realize it's people, it's family, it's society, it's your teachers, it's your parents, it's your relatives just projecting on you. And because you didn't have the capability to discern anything, you subconsciously internalize that. Is it true? Is it? And when you find out it's not true, start to challenge those limiting beliefs about yourself. If you said, I'm so dumb, right there, I'm smart. And all these other things that you say that are positive about yourself, I want you to be repeating them every day. Because let me tell you, and this is scientifically proven, the only way possible you can be able to cultivate faith, and faith is believing in yourself, right? It's through autosuggestion. I'm talking about affirmations. So those beautiful things you end up writing about yourself, when you challenge those negative limiting beliefs, repeat them every day. In the morning and before you go to bed. In the morning and before you go to bed. If somebody told you you're ugly, start looking at yourself in the mirror every day and say you're beautiful. Tell that reflection of you, Ivy, you are beautiful. because really you are. Who set up these standards? You realize even body trends, it's just a trend. In the 1990s, the trend was the slim babes with the small tummies and the cute small asses. But now, after the Nicki Minaj era, it became voluptuous butt, and all these things are just trends. So who sets this mark? You're sitting there thinking you're not perfect, you're not beautiful, just because you don't look like Kylie Jenner. I need you to get into that self-reflective mode for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. Because subconsciously, you'll realize you've just been internalizing everything around you. At first, when you start to tell yourself in the mirror, I'm beautiful. Of course, it's been 20 years of you calling yourself ugly every damn day, right? So it's gonna be hard. There's some sort of cognitive dissonance that can happen in that moment because this is not what you know. Your mind is already used to calling you shit and, always picking rubbish in you, and so when you start to speak beautiful things about yourself, change is uncomfortable. It's gonna feel strange. But you keep doing it because with time, I promise you, and I'm telling you out of experience, you start to believe that you're worth it. You start to believe that you're beautiful. You start to believe that you're smart. You start to believe that you deserve luxury. You start to believe that you deserve the life you desire for yourself. That is the only way the law of attraction is gonna work, by the way, if you're using that. When you believe that you're worth it, the universe shows you that indeed you're worth it. It sort of proves to you that you're worth it. But you have to get out of that self-hate, always talking shit about yourself, making stupid jokes about yourself. It's not funny. That's an insecurity, but you don't want people to shed light on it. So what you do is create humor and you become sarcastic about it. I'm hitting a nerve, yeah? But it's okay. I have been a victim of this before because when I was younger, I used to be made fun of a lot and I almost got used to it. And so it became, even in my life now, I found myself starting to make these stupid jokes and making it so humorous about myself. But really, these are my insecurities I'm shedding light on. That's not okay. You're making fun of yourself. Think of someone who you love unconditionally. Be it your mother, be it your boyfriend, be it your husband, be it your wife, be it your sister, anybody who you love unconditionally. Whatever they do, you still love them. Even in their deathbed, you still love them. And that is unconditional love. So what? You should love yourself unconditionally. You do not deserve a right to be loved. You may have been shown that as a child, but it's time you unlearn that. Your mind is literally like a supercomputer. You just need to key in programs. That's it. So when you keep doing it every day, that auto-suggestion, and in like a week's time, in like 2 weeks' time, at most, I'm telling you, in like 21 days, you will start to believe these beautiful things about yourself. You'll know what you deserve, and so you'll go get it. I love you so much. I love you so damn much. Oh my God. I really need you to find yourself. Yeah, that's how much I love you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I'm willing to answer all of them. I love you so much. Please go do this exercise. Ask yourself these 7 questions. I'm gonna put them somewhere on the screen just now. Ask yourself those questions and really understand who you are. When you identify these limiting beliefs, you've literally solved 50% of the puzzle. I'm telling you, you're gonna thank me. Take this seriously, because your worth, everything in your life is filtered through your worth. How unworthy or worthy you think you are. Okay? I love you. Mwah. Please subscribe.